Oh, wow. Look who's back. Thank you. And to all you newcomers, thank you for coming. We are going to get into it. I have some pixie gel, of course, and the pixie gel from Votino.shop, and then some beige. I also have an 8 millimeter brush, a gel brush that I use as an brush remover, and a 20 millimeter for what we're going to do. Now, if you have not known, or you are to buff the background, buff it, just basically take off the shine. Now, if you want to build up your nails, you can. You can use a builder gel that will give you more sturdiness. But since these are so short, and once you put them on, it really doesn't bend. So that's why I don't do it on these. And plus, they'll make them a lot bulkier. So I don't do that for these press-on nails. Now, for longer lengths, I would suggest possibly putting on a builder gel of some sort. And I guess we'll do that one day just to show you. But here I'm just applying a base coat of beige to all of the nails. And that will be it for that. I'm trying to think what design did I even do for this nails. Oh my goodness. Oh, I remember. Okay, so now I have the matte, and what we're gonna do is apply a very very thin application of this to the base coat or the beige. Very very thin layer, because all we want to do, because we're going to use some pigment powders, and all we want to do is to be able to adhere the pigment powder to the nail. So a thin layer, and then we're going to cure it for, I'll say, 7 to 10 seconds. You just want the shine to be gone. You don't want it. Now, the wetter it is, the more likely you're going to have a lot of powder patches, if I could say that, where it's just like a glob of powder, and it doesn't mix, it doesn't blend well. But if you do it 10 seconds, not no longer than 10 seconds, you just want it to be gone, the shine to be gone. And now we have the pigment powders, and we're going to color code. We're going to mix and match some colors to get a color. So I wanted a forest green color. Oh, and so of course we have to, if you have any, these are desk liners as well. So I just Amazon. So I have the white, and I have these blue ones, these blue towels. So, but I use these as like pigment and whatever I'm doing on this, whatever you want to do. But I clean my brush. This is a pigment brush, and this is how you clean it. You don't have to do anything special. Just get all the powder out. If you don't have to get all of the powder out, but it depends on what you're doing. If you got darker colors, then it won't really matter. But here we're going to start out with the purple pigment. And like I said, I wanted a forest green. So with that, when you do color matching, you can all, for tones, if you want to tone it, you can always add yellows, or the yellow or the white. If you include white, you're making more pastel colors if you're doing a lot of white. But if you just want to tone the color a little bit, just add a smidgen of yellow at each interval. Because any more than it's going to give you like a pasty look sometimes, depending. But yeah, so as you can see, we're mixing this pretty good, and it is getting to the desired color that I'm looking for. Now, you'll see, so I just toned it just as, if you can tell, it gives it a little bit more of a tone. But you can always add more purple if you don't like it. and or like you could add some tan if you have tan, but if you don't have tan, then you'll have to keep mixing like the purples, the blues, and the yellows to get a tan color. And we can do that. We can do a color mix for that at some point too, if you're interested. Let me know in the comments if you want to do a little color theory on the side. Now, I'm not great at it, but I kind of know what I'm looking for, so then I can kind of go from there. And it's been pretty interesting, to say the least. If you have never tried it, I encourage you to try it. But here I'm just dabbing off all the rest of the actual powder because you don't want it to kick up a lot of powder on your nail, because then you'll have to keep dusting it off just to make sure that you don't have powder in places that you didn't really want them to have powder. And it's not going to stick unless you, it can stick, but it's not going to stick that much if you do have like a lot of powder residue puffing up. But as you can see, I'm trying to get the edges to have like a darker tint to it because I want to ombre it up. I want to ombre that color up. So I wanted to have like the black on the back end to kind of get into that forest green, and then, you know, basically. But that's how these are going to go. So I'm going to do all of these nails, all of the nails first in the black, just so that I don't muddy up the waters, basically, because I don't want black on the top of the nail, of course. So that's what we're doing here. As you can see, I am not doing it really hard. You want to do a lighter motion. The motion is fairly quick as well. It's you're not being an overbearing press down. Now, if you want, you can, but that's not what I'm doing here. And just to give it a little bit more depth, I'm using the tan, and it's giving a little bit more ombre effect. Don't you think? What do you think? for this pinky, I was thinking, might as well do the mirrored ombre look here a little bit, just to kind of give it a different, something different for not every nail, but just to bring the whole look together, I guess. So we got the burgundy on one side, or red, I'm not sure. It's like crimson red on the one side and the forest green on the other. And then we're going to matte that, cover that so that we can do the other side. And now we're going to use matte, or we have to, well, actually we need to, since we only cured it for 10 seconds, we want to finish curing that. And now we want to secure what we've just painted, because if you aren't careful, then and you have a mess up now and you didn't do the matte, you're not putting the matte on now, then you might it'll erase all of your pigment and you have to start over. But so now we're just going to protect the pigment that we've laid down, and this is just a coat of matte polish, and we're going to cure this for 60 seconds, and then we're going to come back. We're going to get ready for the pixie gel webs. You guys are going to love these. So now that we matted it and cured it, we're going to pigment out the opposite colors on each side. Well, actually, I probably messed up and forgot to only cure it. Only cured it probably like 10 seconds. I fully cured it, so I needed to go back and do the 10-second rule so that it'll apply. Because if you do a full cure when you're trying to add pigment powder, it's not going to stick because it's cured. So it's just going to rub off. So that's why I say the 10 seconds. 10 seconds, no more than 10 seconds. So now we're going to take the acetone and a brush of your choosing, or if you have a dedicated acetone brush. This is my dedicated acetone brush. It's actually a gel brush from Young Nails, but I like the way I have a couple of them, and this one I use for acetone only. And we're just going to carve out your line design, or however you want to do it. If you want just circles, that's fine too, or dots, you can dot it. But I'm going with the grand old lines. I think it just gives it a little bit of everything, you know. I think I'm happy with that look. So now we're going to top this off, and we're going to seal it with Shine It. It's a shiny top coat. Now be careful, because you want to make sure that if you don't directly put this back in your bottle first, wipe it down or on the towel or something, just to make sure that you don't contaminate your bottle. And here I'm just cleaning off my brush, because I'm actually going to do some more work. I thought about a skull on a nail, so we're going to get ready for that at some point. But here, this is what we're going to use, the pigment base. This is pigment base white, but you can use any type of gel white polish. This is just the one that I use for pigment. Now I do have some wave white pigment. They have some really good gel polish as well. So right here, I'm just going to map out the eyes of the skull, and then I'll fill it in as we go. If you are not an expert on skulls, I am not either. I'm going by what I think I know. So this is going to be an upside down heart, if you will, for the nose. And then you just fill in around, and you put the big head up. You got your Riri forehead, and then you just kind of eyeball it. You know, pixie gel is really like my rhinestones. I love a good rhinestone, decked out, blinged out nail, but right now that's not my ministry. I'm going to attempt to try to do a rhinestone nail, but I don't know what it is, but I can never get that glue to rhinestone ratio correct. And then sometimes I end up messing up my rhinestones because I got some cheaper ones, but I get the ones from Blue Streak. I like Blue Streak crystals, and yeah. So we're just actually, I should tell you about this. So these are the webs. I am just doing, when you do it's almost like a W, but not really. It's a W that has the core in the center. where you want to draw your lines. And then when you make the web, you want to do almost a U, but just make sure that you curve from either side, curve from side to side. So like from one line to one line. So you would curve, you draw it down and curve, and then on the other side draw it down and curve, so that they meet in the middle, if that makes sense. Because I know sometimes like when I first started doing webs, they didn't look like webs. I don't know why they didn't look like webs, but I think I was doing it backwards. Like they were just like a down U instead of a up U. Child, that's my logic, and that's what I'm sticking to. I'm gonna stick beside her. I'm gonna stick beside her. I know I'm talking about myself, but I'm gonna stick beside me. Anywho, so what was I talking about? Baby, this man. If you noticed, I switched up the brush because I felt like it would be a thinner application, because I really wanted some really thin webs, but I just, for whatever reason, it didn't matter. I'm just gonna go with it. This is all beginner. I'm just learning. Even though I've been doing it since 2020 now, I am still learning, and I had almost a whole year of not doing any artwork because of doing other things. You know how life does. But I am here, and I am more than willing to be more consistent in refining my abilities. And so here we are. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that like. Maybe drop a comment. What can I improve on? What can I show you? Is there a product that you would like me to review? I would like to do those things for you. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Getting back to this. So now we're here. We're here for our Rhinestone Cowboy. And as I said before, I like Blue Streak. Blue Streak has great. They have a beautiful array of gems. Now, Dreamtime Crystal also has them, and Dreamtime Crystal is a part of Votino. They have an affiliation as well, but I like the way Blue Streak has theirs laid out on their site. It's a little bit easier to kind of grasp, to see, and also they have let's see, I think I'll probably insert it. There's a portfolio of sorts, so you can order a portfolio to have the nail size or the rhinestone sizes, and you can get that booklet. There's 2 of them, and you can get that, and you can get the equivalent, the generic equivalent of these nails on Temu or wherever you buy rhinestones, or on Amazon for that matter. But these crystals in this bag, this is from Dreamtime Crystals, and they included it with my mix when I bought the mystery box, if you've seen that video. And I got this little tray from Temu. It's a helpful little tray because you can shake them up and they'll turn the rhinestones the right way. They'll turn every way, which way but loose. And yeah, I like this little thing. But I was trying to find a black round stone, but that's big enough that would probably fit. That would be big enough, because I had some small ones, but I was looking for a big one. But I don't have any, so I probably will need to go and spend some money and buy some, because That's this time of year, honey. Shoot, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life, girl? What are you doing with your life? You don't have no black rhinestones. What you mean you ain't got no black rhinestones? Well, I got the black rhinestones. I just don't have the size. Is that okay with you? No, that's kind of not okay because that was the whole purpose of this. Now I gotta throw all of y'all back in this bag. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. This is what I do. I talk to myself a lot. But I'm glad you're here filling in some of this stuff. I just wanted you to I wanted to share this with you. I didn't want to rush through this video. I wanted you to see everything. And so here I have those little little links, whatever they call those. I don't know what they call them. They're little half things, them half links. And so I'm going to throw everything in this little white tray so that I can have easy access. And then I'm going to take those little halflings and I'm going to cut it right in the middle for like 2 of them so that I can have the little, you know how spiders have the little bite thing, the little antennas or extra arms. I don't know. Child, I hate spiders so much. My husband was like, I like the spider in the middle. He was like, you probably was screaming the whole time you was putting it together. He knows I cannot stand a doggone spider. But now that I'm learning trying to garden, honey, I'm trying to garden out there and everything like that. So, you know, I got to build up my tolerance. So you start here. So yeah, so see, I'm trying to get in the middle and then I'll clip it to get that the little shorter limbs. And so I only did that for 2. And then I'll have a total of, we'll have the bigger legs. So we'll have the total of 4 for the bigger legs. We're not doing no 6-8 leg spider. Not today. Not on this little nail. Now, if we did a longer nail, maybe. So here we have the little spool. Can you get it out of your mouth? Spool, you know how they have that little web they like to hover over your head on. Child. I got this glue off of Amazon. Now, I have some other type glue. But child, if you're not quick with it, that's gonna be your A. And like I said, when I do and that was another thing. Like I said, this is not my ministry. Rhinestones are not my ministry, not right now. Maybe when I get a little older. But it's not right now. But every time I end up doing them, and that's why I bought this glue, this rhinestone glue, because it's so thick. So I was like, well, maybe it won't run, and then I can kind of like, it won't slide as much when I put the rhinestone down, and it did work. So I'm okay with that. I just have to get my bearings, child. I gotta get my bearings. But anyway, so I did that, and then usually, if I don't do it right, and I'm using this other glue, it'll take the shine off of my stones, and I don't like that. That really, because it gives it a dull look once it dries, and I don't like that. It's so ugly. I hate it so much. But I really wanted to try this. I wanted to get this spider together. Oh, child, somebody help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help. Okay, so I bought this glue. This is some nail glue too. It's for bling. But I bought this glue. I can't. It's been some time. But I bought it from, you know, Cardi B's nail artist. She has some products, and I bought it from her site. And I don't know what her site name is. But yeah, I got it off of her site. But I think a lot of other nail artists or nail type people have the same types of products, but this is just to help seal and seal the deal, seal it around the edges of the bling so that it doesn't catch in my hair when I rub my fingers through it. And I'm going to seal it around the little metal pieces so those don't get caught in my hair or in clothes or scratch anybody, or I mean, if you fighting somebody, it might work out in your favor, but I'm not trying to do that right now. You know what I mean? I'm a more older, sophisticated now, and I don't do those types of things anymore, or I've never really did them. Well, I don't like fighting, Anyway, only in the comments. Only in the comments. You can be a Twitter. You can be a finger tweeter. What do they call those? I'm having too much fun with myself. Sorry. Anywho, I'll let y'all finish out looking at this. All right, y'all, our final nail. We're going to get this powder, these pigments back out here, and we're just gonna highlight. We're gonna do a little bit, just a little bit. Not gonna do too much, not too much. We're gonna mix a couple of those colors that we initially had to get that forest green. Dust off the excess. Start in the eyes. Give it a little shadow. We're gonna give them a little eye shadow. This a girl. This a girl skull. So we're gonna give it a little eye shadow. She was hell when she went. And then we're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit. Give it a little bit of a natural look, a natural color look. And you just wanna find little happy places, like Bob Ross would say. You just want to have a little couple happy accidents everywhere, to make it a little bit bright. Now, what you can do to make it really pop out, I just wanted to be like earth tony a little bit, and not so much bright. Not necessarily bright, because it's kind of a earthy nail set. So not so bright where the purple is just popping out. You know what I mean? And then we got a little bit of blue here. And then, of course, in the middle, you want highlights. You want that to be your highlight, just like how people do makeup. I'm not great at makeup, but I do know about the highlight. And usually the center of the face is where all the brightness is. Now, what I didn't do is I should have used Shine It before I applied the pigment. Applied the white to draw the skull, because and then buffed it so that when I do the pigment, it wouldn't stay in the eyes. And so I used a little bit of acetone to get the eyes back a little bit darker, but it still came out pretty good. Now, this is top coat matte, and be light. Do not be heavy handed like I just did and wipe some of the color off. Like I said, you want to be light when you're finishing your pigments, and make sure you wipe your brush off so you don't contaminate it when you're putting it back in the bottle. And I'm brushing and I'm cleaning my brush, and that's it, you guys. This was a fun set to do for me. This was so fun. Now, if I didn't told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Wipe these dang on nails down. You do not want to form any type of dermatitis problems from these gel polishes that are uncured, causing irritant. Anywho, here's the final look, you guys. If you loved this video, like it, subscribe, comment below, share it, why don't you? And until next time, I'll see you later.